Look at you.
Hey, we got it figured out, sister.
You got it.
Did you start?
Yeah, well, okay.
Are the numbers moving?
The numbers are moving. All right, go ahead.
It's unbelievable.
Hey, welcome to another episode of the Boathouse Boys podcast here in Three Lakes, Wisconsin. Like we do every week, we do the bullshit recap of each of our lives during the week. And Gary, what happened to you this week?
It was a great week. Did a little fishing. Did a little pickleball. Still worked. Oh, I didn't play pickleball. I'm just kidding.
Oh, you lied.
And then just was busy. We played a little golf, I think, one day. Missy and I played golf.
Nice.
And then her family was okay.
It's cheap?
No, it's 1 foot wedge.
You're not playing.
Her family was supposed to come up this weekend, but there's a scheduling error on someone's part. They're coming next weekend.
Michael?
No, Dave, her brother.
Dave, her brother.
Corey, and Missy's dad.
Dave's
and
a
wife.
pilot.
He flies airplanes.
Yes.
Big ones.
Big ones.
Yeah.
Big ones.
He's a pirate.
He's a pirate.
How was your weekend, Chad?
My week was pretty amazing. I was in Vegas for Pam's 55th birthday. That was pretty fun. We got to see Snoop Dogg live for an hour.
You do any games of chance?
I did no gambling in Vegas this time because Pam was with. How did your
how did your weekend go?
I had a great week. My brother and sister-in-law came up the other day, and before that was my ex-brother-in-law from Massachusetts, and my nephew came all the way here, and they stopped here, and now they're driving all the way out. He took a job in San Francisco,
Well,
so they're driving out there. So they made it to Colorado. So yeah, it's fun. Played a little golf.
great weather?
Hung out on a boat.
Hanging out on a boat. So listen, today we have one of Three Lakes, I think, hardest working entrepreneurs. He's a triple business owner who's feeding the community through pie pizza, cooling them down with endless summer frozen treats, and catering their special events with Hollow Tree Catering. Gary, yes. Wait. Before we talk to him,
We have some business to take care of, don't
Yes,
we?
Chad.
Yes.
That's the Lake of the Week.
Oh, the Lake of the Week is Planting Ground Lake.
Oh, question.
Oh.
1,000-acre lake with a maximum depth of 37 feet. It's fairly decent musky fishing in the water. It's a weird color. The lake features pristine wilderness shoreline and is a favorite spot for both fishing enthusiasts and those seeking water recreation. Some very questionable characters reside on Planting Ground Lake, and Planting Ground is considered by many to be in the top 13 lakes on the chain.
I caught my first muskie on Planting Ground.
You did on Planting Ground?
Yeah, it was a nice one. Yeah,
It was
Quite a few on there.
your first or
Shorties.
how many
First
did you
one.
caught?
3.
Oh, jeez.
Semi-pro.
So,
Wow.
Riffo. Timmy, what's happening this week in Three Lakes
Well,
News?
Chatty, okay, here's a condensed version of No's hit news for this week. A court ruling in favor of the Three Lakes School District regarding the district's proposed Camp 3 outdoor classroom project was considered a big win by district admin. The annual Ride with Liney's was held on Saturday in Conover. Money was raised for the Great Headwaters Trail Foundation, always a great event. And downtown Three Lakes, as always, is open for business. That's a wrap for No's Hit News this week. If you have news to report, give us a holler. Call our hotline, 262-339-9000, because
We don't take the call, actually.
No, we don't care what you think.
Yeah.
today's No's Hit News is sponsored by the Subway Sub Shop. Subway Sub Shop located on 1791 Superior Street in beautiful downtown Three Lakes, offering subs any way you want them, salads and delicious desserts. Love their Miss Vicky's chips also. Who doesn't love their clever signage out front?
Very clever.
It makes people laugh.
People need to laugh more, too.
Yeah. If you want to order ahead, go to subway.com.
Subway.com. All right, time for the big reveal. He's a man who knows how to feed a crowd, whether it's pizza by the slice, a frozen treat on a hot summer day, or catering your wedding reception. He's got help from his parents, Jim and Jill Pike, and his talented cook, Lori Dick. He's involved in local service groups, loves a good bourbon, and always brings the good times. Welcome to the podcast, Josh Pike.
Josh Pike from the Green
All right. Welcome, Josh.
Nice shirt.
How's it going?
Nice shirt.
the
Got the
shirt,
pie
love the
pizza
shirt.
shirt on.
Well, you gotta always be branding, right?
Yes,
ABB, always be branding.
Right.
ABB, I like it.
It's fantastic. Hey, we like to get to know the guess a little more than just Three Lakes. Where did you grow up and go to school?
So I was born in Menominee Falls, suburban Milwaukee, but my dad took a job up in Anago at a radio station when I was just a wee young lad of 3. And so we relocated up there, and I lived my formative years in Anago. I went through elementary school and high school there. And then after high school, I went down to Madison. I went to the University of Wisconsin at Madison.
On Wisconsin.
Yeah, so that's kind of the quick one.
The Anago Red Robins.
The Anago Red Robins, indeed.
Is that it?
Absolutely
Totally
correct.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
I know all the teams. It's amazing.
Not all of them, but I can
Most
get a few of them once in a while.
So you're brought up here because your dad's job, and he was the IT director in Anago.
Well, he
at some
started
point?
actually he was a communications engineer, and so he worked for Viacom Cable down in
wow.
Milwaukee, and he actually got a job with the local radio station. He started with the local radio station up in Anago, and if you hear him tell it, he'll say he basically everything was broke when he got there, and he worked himself out of a job. So they started putting him on air, and he hated it, and then he ended up branching out, and he started doing a lot of IT stuff, networking. Early days of kind of every hospital, every school needed to be networked, and the internet was all of a sudden a thing.
Yeah.
And so he got into that, and then from there he ended up as the IT director for the city of Anago for,
wow.
I don't even know, 25 years, give or take.
That was fantastic.
Yeah. But he's been coming up here, since he was in high school. So we, my whole life, we used to come up and visit friends on, they started out on Margaret Lake, and then they ended up on Dog Lake on the south side of the chain,
Nice.
and we used to camp up in Eagle River. So, way before I ever thought of making Three Lakes my home, we're very familiar with the
I
area.
didn't know that about you. That's kind of cool. that
Yeah.
you came
Yeah.
here.
We used to go to Eagle River Hockey Camp.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
We talked one night, and it could be totally full of shit, but were you at some point like a assistant to a Major League Baseball player?
We'll say an informal assistant.
Yeah.
How about that?
Like you're
so,
buddies with a guy or something?
one of my really good friends in high school, grew up with him playing baseball and hockey together. He had one of those right arms that was blessed by the heavens, and so after high school, he went on to play junior college, and he was drafted by the Yankees.
Oh, wow.
And then he ended up signing, and then he got traded to the Cubs, and there you go. And we always used to joke, whenever he made the show, I was going to come with him wherever he was going to happen to be at. And this was, probably 2009, and the Cubs were terrible. And they were going through a youth movement, and so my buddy Justin got invited to big league camp, and he kind of unexpectedly made the team.
Nice.
And I get a call from Arizona. He's like, "You ready?" At the time, I just graduated college and was still living in Madison. I was working for UPS, helping do dispatch, and not really feeling it. And it's a tough job. Logistics is a tough job.
Yeah.
But anyways, so I go, "Yeah, ready for what?" He goes, "We're moving to Chicago." I was like, "Oh, shit, okay, let's go." So me and another very good friend of mine, we played club baseball together in Madison, went down to Chicago one weekend, and we toured 9 houses, apartments, and then I get a call halfway through the day, and Justin says, "Actually, there's another guy who's going to live with us too, a guy by the name of James Russell. He was also a relief pitcher, and also kind of unexpectedly made the team." And it's kind of crazy how it all works out, because, we're 23, 24, and they're basically tell you 3-4 days before camp breaks, like, "Hey, you made the team," and they put you up in a hotel in Chicago for 1 week, and then you have a week to essentially figure out your life.
Wow.
But you're also the lowest man on the totem pole, which means you could get sent down to AAA, you could get, you get hurt, whatever, have to go on a rehab assignment, and so it's kind of intense. Like, they're just like, so Justin was just like, and then they started the year, just happenstance, on a 10-game road trip. So he wasn't going to be back in Chicago for like 10 days. They were traveling. So basically, the organization shipped his car and a bunch of his stuff to Chicago, and it just sits at the field. And I went down with a different buddy. We found a little house. It was about 8-block walk to Wrigley Field. Basically, I didn't have any money, so we signed on it with essentially me telling them it's going to be me and a couple of Cubs guys that are going to live here, and they're like, "Yeah, that sounds great." And so we we basically I moved in first. I moved all my stuff down, quit my job, moved all my stuff down from Madison. Started grabbing their stuff. Picked them up at Wrigley Field in my, busted ass 1998 rusty Ford Explorer. Like high end. That was my shuttle service. Immediately went to Target to buy 2 TVs because we had no TVs in the house, and they had just gotten back from a 10-day road trip and needed to veg out and whatever. We ended up buying a bunch of the furniture from the people who left the house because, again, didn't have anything. And basically, I spent a month just kind of getting us set up in the house. The first day they had a day game, so they had to go to Wrigley. They had to be there by like 8-9 o'clock in the morning when they had day game, right? And my buddy just hands me like $1,000 from his per diem from the 10-day road trip because they get their salary, but they also get. Sure. I mean, at the time, I think it was like $250 a day or something like that, to feed themselves. But there's food in the hotel, there's food in the clubhouse, whatever. Hands me a grab, he goes, I think a ping pong table would look good in here, don't you think? And we had this big dining room with nothing in it, no furniture. And so my first task was to find a ping pong table for the house. And then,
why not?
So I'm driving downtown Chicago a week after I moved there. I bought a ping pong table from some marketing firm that, was going to be the cool marketing firm that was going out of business. Yeah. I gave a couple of these guys that were about to get fired because the company was going down $50 each to help me haul it down the stairs. Yeah. We broke it down as much as we could. I shoved it in the back of my Explorer, had it sticking out of the window. Got it back to the house. It's like, how the hell am I going to get this in? But hauled it inside, had it built and ready to go. By the time they got home from the ballpark that night, we had a ping pong table. And from that point forward, we were good to go. We were set. So it was just, I ended up getting a real job there shortly thereafter and stuff. But, they'd be on the road, and I'd know when they were coming back. So I'd go to the grocery store and make sure the fridge was full when they got back and stuff like that. Just kind of took stuff off their plate for them.
Played a lot of ping pong on there.
Well, a lot of pong of some sort.
What's that game where you throw it into
We threw it more than we hit it with paddles, I think. Beer pong, I think is what it does.
I never played it.
And some juice.
Never played it.
Yeah. No, never played it right.
How do you go from that and then your life, and then you end up having this amazing place on the lake?
Well, it's a long story, right? So that was year one. Unfortunately, my buddy ended up having to have Tommy John surgery.
Oh, no.
And he rallied back, but he never quite got the fastball back. And so he wasn't. He basically he was up most of that first year. Ended up getting hurt. Had a cup of coffee after that, but at that point he was kind of battled back through the minors, and then he had to retire. But so that first year I basically lived with him and James, and then there was this time when they were both down in AAA, and it was just me in this house by myself, hanging out. But I got a job at a mortgage company. It was coming right out of the GFC. And I couldn't get a job. I thought I'd move to Chicago. I was always a bartender through college and stuff like that, and I'll just get a job at a bar, restaurant, whatever. Couldn't find a job anywhere because everybody had been laid off and everybody was just trying to make ends meet, work in service industry and stuff. And it just so happened I joined a random softball team, like a co-rec softball team, and they're like, one guy, I was like, oh yeah, we're hiring people, and it was basically they were doing all these, the relief, I don't know if you guys were, the relief refis. Basically, everybody was underwater on their house, but in order to keep people in their house, the government came up with a program that basically said, as long as you could refinance, as long as you were still qualified, we'd refinance your house, don't care what your value is, right? Wow. And this company we were doing tons of them. And the first 5 years I worked for that company, we doubled in size every year. So I got a job there, and I worked there for 7 years, a little over 7 years total. But the first 5 of it was in Chicago at corporate headquarters. Yep. Then from there, I got transferred out to Los Angeles and to run a branch. And while I was there, I opened 2 other branches for the company. About 2.5 years after that, I don't know. I decided I had really enjoyed my time in LA, but I wasn't feeling it like long term, right? I wanted to get back closer to home. My dad there was a resort actually down on Upper Post Lake, down on the Wolf River, that we went and looked at, and I put together a whole big business plan and a remodel plan, and I just couldn't massage the numbers to make them work. It was a great little spot, but it needed a ton of work. But there was a campground and some cabins and a little bar and stuff like that. And I just kind of was like reserved. I can't make the numbers work. I just don't think it's going to be a thing. And a friend of mine whose parents have a place up on Long Lake, and Pine Isle's been shut down for like a year and it's for sale, right? It's like, oh, that's interesting. Interesting development,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So I looked for it, and I don't know if at the time the listing had expired or whatever, but I couldn't find a lot of information. But on the website, there was still just an info@Pine Isle email address.
Yeah.
So I fired off an email, and I was just like, heard this place is closed. I used to come up here all the time when I was a kid. That was always our stop, right?
Okay.
When we'd come up to visit my parents' friends on Dog Lake, take a big long boat ride and always make a bathroom
Oh,
and
that's
cocktail
cool.
stop at Pine Isle, right? And
It was Pine Isle then. It was Pine Isle.
yeah, it was. I mean, it was how many different versions of Pine Isle, but
Didn't a whole group own it there, like a bunch of investors?
so what happened
Yeah.
was a bunch of investors bought it just pre-crash,
Okay.
like 2007,
Yeah.
and they bought it as a real estate play, and then all of a sudden everybody's second homes aren't, everybody's selling their second
Yeah.
homes or losing them,
Yep.
and what they paid for the property wasn't worth it, and they never had any intent to stay up here to run it, and having trouble finding people to run it and supervise from afar and things like that. And so finally they lost partner after partner after partner because they kept having to put more money in, and by the time I got involved, there were really only 3 left.
Okay.
And they had been shut down, and they were trying to get out, right? And so I send off this email. I get an email back. It just so happens that one of the partners lives in down in
Illinois.
no down by me, and down where we were at the time. Were you booing? There.
No, he said
One of the partners was from suburban Chicago.
I know. I remember.
Yeah, but the one I was talking to, he was down in Orange County.
Oh.
Down. So, just so happened I was actually functioning as an expert witness for a mortgage trial down in Orange County at the time, and I met up with him and got we got lunch, and I was just kind of bouncing some ideas off him and stuff like that. They didn't have any books. They didn't know what they had a piece of real estate. That's all they had, and they didn't even know how bad a shape it was in because they hadn't been here in a while.
Yeah.
And so my dad and his buddy came up here, and they looked at it, and they're like, the place is kind of a wreck. Honestly, I mean, when we finally took over, we trapped probably a dozen red squirrels out of there, and I mean, countless mice and rats and
Sure.
Yeah.
gnarly stuff, and everything was ripped. The kitchen was all ripped apart. Everything was ripped off the walls. It was pretty bad shape. But I don't know. We kind of was just like done with the job out in L.A. and so we threw him an offer. I wrote up a little option purchase, lease option deal agreement. And I was like, "There's no way I can finance this. You guys don't have any numbers. The place is a disaster. We're gonna have to dump a ton of money into it to get it back up and running again." And they came back to me and basically said okay, and then never signed the actual contract for months and months and months. Actually, it's funny, the first whole summer we operated there, we did it essentially at any point. They could have called the sheriff and locked us out because we never had a signed agreement, because we were all of a sudden it was like, we thought we had a deal, and then it was like a deal point would come up and they'd be like, oh no, we need this, and I'd be like, not gonna do it. And it was just, so we spent that whole first summer just arguing over
What year
like
was
little.
that?
So that was 2017. Our first
Okay.
official open weekend was Father's Day weekend 2017.
Okay.
You guys had it for 6 years?
7.
7 years.
Yeah, a little over, like 7.5 basically. Yeah.
What was really cool about going there, as you guys can attest to, is your mom and dad, Jim and Jill,
Yeah.
Lori, of course, the
Yeah.
cook, just like your family. It felt like a family atmosphere. It's fun to have a beer with your dad every
Yeah.
now and again.
Yeah.
And just hang out at the outside. It was
Well,
awesome.
yeah, I mean, it was, I mean, especially that first summer, we didn't get the permission to even be in the building until Memorial Weekend,
Yeah.
or like a week before Memorial Weekend. I don't know if any of you guys were around. We actually because we had so many people just stopping by to see what was going on,
Yeah.
that we just grilled burgers and brats and put beer in coolers, and
Oh,
just,
awesome.
and it was
What a
just, we had a
great
picnic
idea.
for whoever stopped by, because we're
Exactly.
just like,
Oh,
this
that's
Memorial
pretty cool.
Weekend.
Great idea.
Like what?
Fantastic.
That's
Whatever.
awesome.
So, and then we basically busted our ass for a couple weeks to try to make it, I don't know, even sort of openable, I guess. And it wasn't. I mean, I remember a conversation I had with my dad, and he's like, and he's still working full time in Antigo and just coming up on the weekends.
I remember
My
that.
mom's still working full time in Antigo, coming up on the weekends. I'm living on a cot in the basement of my parents' friend's place down on Dog Lake because I couldn't find any place to live up here. And I remember having a conversation. I'm like, we got to get the doors open. And my dad's like, are we ready? And I'm like, absolutely not. Like,
even
we are
close.
not even close. We had like 3 staff people. The kitchen was still a wreck when we opened. for the first 2 weeks we were open, the only food we served was we had the Lions Club come out. They had a little old like push cart,
sure.
hot dog push cart,
yeah.
and they set up underneath where the tent was, and they sold hot dogs, and all the proceeds went to the Lions Club. That was the only food that we offered for 2 weeks because we had no. I mean,
ready.
we were
Wow.
we were nowhere near ready, right?
Everybody was stopping though.
Yeah, right. And so,
Yeah.
you know, the nice thing about Pine Isle, and it was great. It was we got we got so many opportunities and the benefit of the doubt so many times from people, because people just want, you know, when you have a customer base that just wants you to succeed. That's
Yes.
all they
Yeah.
want is you
Yeah.
to
That's all we
succeed,
want. That's all we want.
right? Like
100%.
it's
100%.
there's a lot of pressure in that because
yeah.
you want everybody has their own version of what that means.
Yes.
But that also means like we screwed up over and over and over again, just trying different things to kind of make it work. And we always got, for the most part, we always got another opportunity, which
Yeah.
which was excellent. And I will be forever grateful to like the community of folks that, you know, our customers and the people who came in and the people from Three Lakes, and everybody just wanted it to be good.
Yeah.
That's all they wanted. You know, they didn't care.
You guys, I've been coming up here for 35 plus years, and your family is one of the best at running Pine
Well, I
Isle.
appreciate
It's
that.
Awesome and really fun to go to.
Goddamn chicken tenders, man.
Gary bought a lot of hot dogs in those early days
Yeah.
because he knew Taco Tuesday was on the horizon.
was on the horizon.
Tuesday was hard to
It
beat.
was- it was
Yeah.
coming.
What you
It was
guys
coming.
So you couldn't park there.
No,
Yeah.
it was,
We all had to
amazing.
piggyback our
We had
pontoons.
to double up.
Swim
It
in,
was
we had to
so
swim
fun.
in.
Oh yeah, it was great. I mean, it was great, but also again, there were certain weekends where there was just completely overwhelming. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
it
You
has
got
to be.
people that are just anchoring out and swimming in, and you're just like, at a certain point, like, I mean, we love you all, but you got to take a hit. Like, we don't have any more room to
No
put
mas.
you. We got no more food to sell you. We got no more drinks to give you. You know?
Jill, release the sharks.
Exactly right.
So you do a lot of catering events with fish fries around the area at different places. What's the secret to making the best fish fry?
Well, the secret is Lori, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the secret's Lori.
Lori.
Lori, sweet
Um,
Lori, babe.
We loved doing the Pine Isle thing, but as you guys can attest, my parents were there all the time,
Yeah.
All the
and
time.
Yeah.
they're both getting older and have wanted to. You know, I don't think either one of them would tell you they're ready to be like retired, but in the same respect, I also didn't want to show up one morning and find my mom like keeled over the vacuum because she was in
Yeah.
at 7 o'clock in the morning getting the place ready for
You guys
another
worked
day
so
and stuff
hard.
like that.
It's hard working with
Yeah.
family. It's hard.
Oh,
And you guys.
we had plenty of blow-ups. I mean, there
Yeah.
were plenty of raised voices and tears shed over the years, for sure. I mean, it's tough, but
it's
also
a hard business, man.
everybody's in, which was great, and that doesn't just extend to my immediate family, which also my sister, who doesn't get any credit because she wasn't here, but she was in charge of all our social media, all our marketing.
Oh, that's
like
nice.
she designed most of the merch. You know, the shirt
Yeah.
you're wearing it right now.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, what a
you know, the
sucker.
hat, like she,
Come
she,
on, guys.
Sponsor,
good job.
sorry.
Sorry.
Good job.
yeah,
Sorry.
right. But
I got
she
a
did.
bunch of 'em.
She did all that. She designed all that stuff, and on top of her full-time job, she's a marketing person for U.S. Bank.
What's her name?
Charlotte.
Charlotte.
Charlotte,
Yeah.
thanks for
Shout
the
out,
shirt,
Charlotte.
Charlotte.
Thank
Love
you.
the shirt.
Charlotte, good
Thank
job,
you.
Charlotte.
That's the only shirt Gary wears. It kind of smells.
We had a lot of great employees. The whole
Well, and that too. I mean, we never had enough. I feel like we were always too short, but the ones we did have, man, they killed it. You know,
All the
they
Patricia
worked so
kids.
hard. Yeah.
My personal favorite, Lily Cook.
Oh well, Lily's great.
She's great.
But we had great summer kids. We had great year-round staff. It was great. And honestly, it was one of those things where it was bittersweet to kind of move on. But it is what it is. It was time, and it was kind of what we thought was a good situation. And
Sure.
we're still rooting for something good to happen over there.
You guys are still in the staples of Three Lakes. I mean, everybody, it's pretty awesome. You
Yeah,
guys,
so we're trying some things, right? We're doing the pop-up fish fries around
Yeah,
town and
amazing.
things
Yeah.
like that, and
Love it.
it did give us getting out of that space gave us the opportunity to kind of explore a few other things that we wanted
Sure.
to do, right? So. Lori's, we do the pop-up fish fries. We're really trying to do a supper club, an old school supper club night somewhere. Timing and venue just hasn't
That
quite
would
worked
be
out for us
amazing.
and stuff like that. But
Killer.
we're
with
working
your
on
old
that.
fashions and all.
Yeah, and old school relish tray on the
Yeah.
on the table, and
Yes.
a carving station for your prime rib and your shrimp skewer, and
Oh,
the
that'd be
whole
That'd be so
shebang,
fun.
right?
I want to get that.
We just haven't been able to quite figure out timing and venue, but we got all these different ideas that we just want to work on and stuff like that.
You organized all of us to go to that.
Okay,
You're the
I'll
best
take
at
care of it.
organization.
What was your most memorable catering with Howard Tree? What was like your...
So we did last year at the Northern, under a tent outside at the Northern Air, we did a wedding for 260 people, give or take.
What'd you serve?
And they wanted what we call, it's one of our packages, it's called a weekend in the Northwoods. And so what we did was a decentralized buffet where we had Lori doing a whole fish fry over here. So it was your green salad, your fish fry, your potato salad, coleslaw, roll over here. And then and then on this side over here, we did a carving station with prime rib,
Oh, nice.
and we had roasted vegetables, prime rib, grilled chicken. And then in the middle, we did a baked potato bar to kind of connect it all together.
It's kind of cool.
And
That's
it
very
was
cool.
all very like loose seating wise. There wasn't any assigned seats or anything like that. It was just the couple really wanted it to be kind of a loose vibe and feel the Northwoods thing. And so it was, you'd get like groups together and they'd be like, okay, we're going to go get prime rib, you go get fish, and you go over here, and you go over, and everybody, and even now they come up here and they talk, they said, what people remember most about our wedding was the food. They said the food was
That's a
amazing.
huge compliment.
Decentralized
so-
buffet.
Yeah.
I like it.
First I
Sounds
heard
like a
that.
good menu too.
Yeah, it was excellent. It was great.
Josh
and that was
and
a
his team are
challenge.
actually catering the Three Lakes Crew Foundation Scholarship.
Oh.
Yeah, we're working on
So-
some stuff there.
so
We're gonna come up
they'll
with some
be-
great
There's
stuff.
a plug.
They'll be here. Yeah,
Can we get a
August
potato?
10th.
Can we get a baked potato bar?
I'll make you
We
a
could
baked
do a baked potato bar.
I'll make you a baked potato.
We also do a little mini twice baked potato appetizer. We do
Yeah.
something like that.
Perfect. Perfect.
In each appetizer serves 24 people.
So you're
Yeah.
very involved in a lot of local service groups. What kind of groups are you involved in here?
Yeah, I would say that's something I definitely kind of picked up as growing up. My parents were always super duper involved in everything. I was a big hockey player growing up, and my dad was. Both of my parents had served on the board of directors of the Antigo Hockey Association. My mom used to run the concession stand. They were always just super duper involved in
I
all
can
that
see your
stuff.
mom totally
right?
running concession.
Oh yeah, I
stand.
mean,
Oh my God.
we get home from school, and our
Amazing.
porch, we had like a screen porch, and it would be just full of candy and like just all the chips and everything
That would've
for the
been bad for
concession.
me.
And
Popcorn.
yeah, we get home. My mom's works till 6, and we get home at 3:30, and we're not supposed to just pretend like that. There's not 50 Hershey bars and Charleston shoes and everything on the front porch and stuff like that.
It's like
But
Christmas. It's like
yeah, right. So when I got up here, it was important for me to kind of get involved in the community. So I was on the chamber board for a while. I also served as the president for a while until my term expired there. And then I recently moved over, and I'm on the board of directors for the Oneida County Economic Development Corporation.
Oh, nice.
So we're working on kind of bringing more investment to Oneida County, and I'm actually the Three Lakes at-large resident board member. So essentially, my job is to go to the meetings and be like, "Hey, what about Three Lakes? Hey, what about Three Lakes? Hey, what about Three
Yeah,
Lakes?"
yeah.
As all these things are kind of coming down the pike and stuff like
I
that.
think I
And
saw
so-
your handsome mug in the paper receiving some sort of award at some point.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. Probably.
There's so many.
Best
There's so
looking
many.
guy,
Yeah.
best looking guy in Three
Oh,
Lakes.
we got. I think that was probably just my like outgoing presidency thing from the chamber there.
I think it's best looking guy in Three Lakes.
Yeah.
What's the busiest time of the year for your businesses, and how do you juggle all three? Basically, the question is, how do you juggle all three of those things?
It gets tough. Again, it's staff, and it's really being able to count on both my mom still is in charge of all of the ordering for all the catering events and for the pie pizza company and the summer. My dad is in charge of all the facilities and maintenance at the building in town. He's in charge of he turns over the ice cream machines every week. They got to be completely taken apart, sanitized, new flavors. It's
a lot of work.
Yeah,
That
they're-
chocolate
that's a
has
whole
been
day.
stubborn for a while, wasn't it?
Yeah. We're still working on some
Jimmy's
stuff
gonna
there.
figure that
Yeah.
one out.
He will. He's very smart.
He's great.
Yeah.
Very smart.
And then the catering stuff, and then so like today was a paperwork day for me because it's payday. It's payroll day, so I have to run payroll for all the employees. I did send Chad an updated breakdown for his
Did I
event
miss
here in
it?
August.
Oh.
Yeah, you got one a couple hours ago. Just take a look when you have a second. I had 5 other ones to put out for different events. If we're not booking events, a few months out or more, then we're gonna get to a point where we don't have any, right? So I
Right.
book in those. Then I'm out working on some stuff with our local bank. I got some permitting stuff that I'm working on for a couple of our other little projects. So it's like it's trying to compartmentalize that stuff, but then it's also just relying on the people that we put around us.
People.
I've made maybe a dozen pizzas so far this summer because Tammy, who's really just grabbed hold of
Good.
that side of the business and really kind of taken charge of it. And we've had some unbelievable kids that we ordered for
Yeah.
that we hired.
It's
for
hard
this
to find
summer.
good
Yeah,
help.
it's
Yeah,
really
yeah.
hard.
You
We've
never
got
have
some
enough
great ones.
Tammy in your life.
Yeah,
You get up and walk those dogs.
absolutely.
Huh?
Yeah.
Check on that new building that you're doing there. It
Yep, the
looks
new
really-
the Shinery. That's what the Maple Lake Shinery. That's what
I
that
like
building's
it.
going to be
Oh,
called.
I like it.
Very cool.
But yeah, so Lori does all our banquet. She's like our banquet captain. So we kind of talk with her, and then I basically write it all up. And it's just trying to find enough people and find the right people, and then let those people do what they do.
Yep.
Because if I tried to do all the things, we would be doing it at a much worse level.
You're
than we
a bus
are
driver and you're
currently.
filling the good people.
Just trying,
Yeah.
just
You have
trying
to.
to do that.
Lori Dick has got a very valuable Lord Gary signed hat she wears once in a while.
Yeah.
Probably worth, it's her
That's
only
a
one. It's
limited-
the only
that
one
is-
I've ever signed.
It's very limited edition. Very limited.
You know what
edition.
that's worth? Can't even put a price on it.
$12.
Priceless.
Priceless.
We hear you know your way around a good bourbon too once in a while. If you got one bourbon to drink,
That's right.
no, Gary, don't say it because you're gonna die. Don't say that.
No,
Don't
no,
say
it's
that.
morbid.
You got one bourbon to drink before you have to quit for the rest of your life. What's that bourbon gonna be?
So there's one.
Within reach.
Well, yeah, I've never had any of the ones that are, unfortunately, the best I've ever, the most expensive I've ever had, the rarest I've ever had would be a Rip Van Winkle, which is kind of like the Pappy step
Yeah, the
down
old
one,
one.
but
Yeah,
it's still a
Sure.
hell of a drink.
Yeah.
But the one I'd probably go with it's called Straight Edge. It's
Okay.
it's a Kentucky distilled bourbon, but then they ship it out to Napa and they actually age it in cab barrels.
Oh, sure.
They finish it in cab barrels, and I actually first had it out when I lived in Los Angeles. I had it,
Straight
and
Edge.
I don't know. I love a good Manhattan.
Me too.
And
so good.
and
They used
something about that, just finishing that in that cab, it gives it just that touch of like that fortified wine flavoring that just
Straight
adds that
edge.
like, straight edge. Yeah, they have a great American as well. The same company, it's called Slaughterhouse, and then they have a really nice rye that the name is escaping me right now. But if you ask our local spirits purveyor Dan, real nice, he
Dan,
can
one of our
normally
sponsors.
track them
Saw
down.
Dan today.
The brew
Yeah.
station. I did
You
too.
normally
Work
track
on
it
him
down.
cleaning up.
He
outside.
sponsors our Muskie League team.
Yes, I'll
Bruce
be there
State-
Wednesday
Third
night.
place.
We're Brew Station 2. I'm sub 1.
Third place.
Right now?
I think so.
Brew Station
Jesus.
2 sub.
We
one.
were.
Yeah, I'm
All
sub
right.
1 for
We
Brew
were.
Station
You
2.
need a sub for Wednesday or both.
We're doing
I
we're
got
making
next Wednesday,
we're making
maybe.
brats for Brew Station for Wednesday night.
Oh, nice.
Wednesday. Are you really?
Yeah.
Have you had the Old Forester 1910? I was in the bourbon
I
ring.
have.
I jumped out.
I have had. Yeah.
That's
It's-
kind of nice.
yeah.
So you also talk about your favorite beer.
Oh
Would this be
yeah,
a good
we
time
gotta
to
go
bring
get
out
them.
Yeah.
So sit down, I got it.
All right. So I was recently
Serve us, Chad,
in
serve
Canada.
It's a long story. Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
So I was just gonna play some music.
Fair enough. So I was recently in Canada. I met up with some friends up in Montreal. As my golf partner told me, I'm the only guy he knows that went to Canada and didn't do any fishing. Just went up to Toronto and Montreal to hang out with some friends.
Montreal is fun.
Montreal was a great time. Toronto was a great time. We were only there for about 16 hours, but
Yeah,
Yeah,
Rocky up
it's
there.
a great food city.
yeah. So
Thanks for bringing the beers.
yeah.
Excited.
So anyways,
Bring
this
it
is Sleeman's Honey Brown. It is only available in Canada. You cannot get it anywhere in the States, at least as far as I've found.
Wow.
And it is one of my favorites from north of
That's
the
right,
border.
thank you.
Kokanee is also wonderful, but that's more of a BC
This is from Canada.
from Canada, from Sudbury. Any Shoresy fans in the house?
Work those abs, guys.
No?
Work
All
those
right.
abs.
No, work those
Cheers,
out.
cheers,
Cheers.
cheers, cheers, eh?
Cheers,
Hey,
eh?
Hey.
hey.
Oh shit!
That's nice.
That's a good
Nice,
one.
isn't it?
That's a nice one.
That's
That's
a
a really
really
nice
good
warm
beer.
day
Ooh.
like this. You know.
It's really
Tasty.
good.
Also got to talk about our new sponsor that we have. It's Boneyard Bloody Blend, made in Utah. Brian and Heidi Kellen. Want to thank you for the sponsorship. Got the shirt on, and also got the hat on too. So thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Where are we?
Chad, what do you think? What should we ask him?
Do you
Think of any question you want to ask him.
any question?
Any question.
Uh-oh. You see those wheels turning now.
Tim wrote this script.
I did. Well, yeah.
It's rewarding what you guys do, and I know it's a lot of hard work, but is it rewarding feeding the community of Three Lakes? And I don't know. I think it's a noble thing.
Well, I've always had kind of, I guess, what I would consider a hospitality mindset.
Yeah.
Even going back to like college, we'd clean the dumpy college flat, and we always had like a massive super. Well, we used to throw massive keggers. Those were to pay. That was to pay the utility bills, but we throw massive Super Bowl parties, and like we do all this stuff, right? And I just loved bringing people over. And actually, I had a random roommate when I was, I don't know, maybe my second junior year of college there. And he was an unbelievable cook. And I used to dabble, I used to mess around. And honestly, living with him for a semester, he taught me so much about the difference between like going through the pantry and throwing something that was pretty tasty together for yourself and like cooking for people and figuring out what works and what doesn't and how to like, and technique. And that's when I got really interested in it. And he was just a super interesting guy. He basically was a neuroscience major that was supposed to go to med school, and he said he basically dropped out. Well, he finished, but instead of going to med school, he was a freelance photographer for the Sporting News.
Oh, wow.
So I used to be his light tech at a lot of the Badger games. He would be like,
Sporting
"You want to go to the
News,
game
right.
tonight?" And I'd go set up, help him set up lights and stuff, and then he'd go in the baseline and shoot like the basketball games, and I'd get to sit in like the press area because I was his light tech for the night and stuff like that.
That's really cool.
I got to be a light tech for one of the sorority fashion shows. That was a nice night. That was a fun night.
Ooh.
But anyways, he was a cook for a while, and he worked on an organic farm out in Seattle, and then he moved back, and he went back to med school, and now he's a neurosurgeon. And he's just a marginally talented guy, obviously, but he's just
Found his niche.
yeah, right.
Lucky guy.
But anyway, so he taught me a lot, and then that kind of expanded for, like I said, I worked in bars and restaurants in college, and then a little bit after college. I worked at a music venue, and I loved that vibe, that whole like energy, and just like getting slammed and high volume. They just stick me in the corner and be like, "All right, you just deal with all these people down here," and you just pounding out
That's so
drinks
fun.
for
Yeah.
5 hours
Yeah,
straight,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
just it's over, And then
It's a high.
yeah, and then out in Chicago and then LA, it was kind of the same thing. I always liked to host. I was like keeping people around. I always had kind of like a critical eye when I'd go to like restaurants and bars, be like, oh, I would do it differently or whatever, right? And then when I got the chance to kind of come back here, it was kind of the same thing. Like, I got a chance to try some stuff. I tried a ton of stuff. Some of it worked, some of it didn't work. But back to your original question, which we're gonna loop back around, I guess. But yeah, it is rewarding. It's super rewarding when you can throw an event and bring people together, when you can feed people, when you can, take something off of people's plates. We used to do the and I'm sure you guys have all been to at least one of them, but the pizza pairings with the beer.
Yes.
And how do we always do it? We always seat people family style,
Yeah.
right? It was
Yeah.
two big
We
long
met some really cool
tables.
people
and,
there.
exactly, right?
Never would have talked to him otherwise.
Yeah, and that's the kind of thing where when we do those special events, it's like it's not just about the food, it's not just about the beer, it's about the company and the camaraderie, and it's I don't know, I like if I can be, I don't know, for social lubricant, I guess.
Yeah.
It might be beer, it might be whiskey. If it can be me once in a while to like get people to kind of engage with each other, I don't know. I just find that super rewarding, and I really, really, really enjoy that.
New product.
Was-
Josh's social KY jelly.
Sponsored
Bringing people
by
together.
P. Diddy.
Solving all the
In
friction
company.
issues.
In company.
So, like in a small town, I mean, you guys, the last 2 winters have been horrendous for snow.
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
up north, you're like a farmer almost if you have a restaurant. You need the weather.
Yeah.
But is it really hard to get good help up here? Is it hard to find good help?
There's great people here. The problem is we're so cyclical that to keep the people you need working when it's busy, you got to eat it when it's not, or vice versa, or you can kind of keep it lean and mean and try to figure it out, but you're always going to be running your face off when it comes time to like busy season, right?
Is there a simple answer to why businesses can't find help?
Well, in our area specifically, a lot of it has to do with there's no housing. There's no place for anyone to live, anybody to live.
Yeah.
That's a huge
and there's
issue.
no place for anybody to live. Anybody that has working class, really specifically, right? You're trying to find a decent apartment for under $1,000 a month. You're driving at least to Rylander, and there's plenty of restaurants over there that need people too.
What's that place in Eagle River, that big complex going up? Is that apartments?
That's going to be apartments there. Yeah. I don't know exactly I don't know a lot about it, but I know that it's going to be a big apartment thing there. And we're doing some stuff too. We're building a small condo development in town, and I'm going to have 5 units that'll hopefully be online by the end of the year here,
Nice.
all for purchase, but kind of in that low to mid 200s range,
Yeah.
you know, where you could be maybe like a teacher and like a kitchen manager and afford to actually buy
Sure.
it as opposed
Yeah,
to
yeah,
trying
yeah.
to figure something else out there.
Where's that at?
Actually, right behind the Catholic Church. If you take head down there, Forest Street there,
very cool.
you'll see a lot of big piles of dirt. That's us. Yeah,
nice.
Oh, you're gonna
that's-
build something.
yeah, we're
Wow,
working.
that's awesome.
So it's finding enough people, but it's also, you know, finding the right people to fit all the different vibes of everything that's going on. And then we got to figure out a way to make this place just slightly less cyclical, I guess I would say, you know, or, you know, make it a little more desirable for that like weekly vacationer as opposed to just like the second homeowners and things like that.
Yeah.
You know, think about your behavior when you're here at your house versus your behavior when you're on vacation somewhere, right? When you're on vacation, you're eating out every single day. You're checking all the different spots out. You want to find that, you know, regardless of whether you're here for a month or you're here for the summer or you're here whatever, you're still cooking at home. You're still, you know, getting into your routine. You're going to your normal spots and things like that. And it becomes difficult when everybody is here on the 4th of July and then nobody is here on the
Yes.
4th of October.
Yeah.
You know, it just
Yeah.
becomes really difficult to kind of keep a functional business. And to your point with the winners, you know, if the winners go away and don't come back, there's going to be a lot of places that are going to find it very difficult to kind of
Absolutely.
There's
continue.
no way they can do it.
You know, if you go from, you know, 6, 7, 8 months of projected profitability down to 3 or 4, a lot of these places start making a lot less sense.
Right.
Yeah. What's the one dish or item across all your businesses that you're most proud of? Dish or item or anything you've done?
So the one thing I'm probably most identified with is kind of our signature pizza crust.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's not really it's pan, but it's not really. It's a little thicker, but it's not heavy. It's, I guess the closest thing would be like a Detroit style or a grandma
Yeah,
style is
really
the way
good.
people think about it. You know, and that was something that we came up with.
Made with beer.
Made with beer. That was something that we came up with towards the end of our first year at Pine Isle. We kind of were trying to figure out what our niche was going to be. You know, we were going to, you know, I wanted to do, you know, I didn't want it to be complicated. It certainly wasn't going to be fancy with the way like people come and go and everything like that.
Yeah.
But in the same respect, I wanted something that was going to be a little unique and a little identifiable.
There's an art to making dough.
Yeah, and I've had some wonderful dough makers work for me, and I've pulled plenty of all-nighters making dough, and there's been times where I just spent 9 hours in the kitchen from midnight till 9 a.m. and I look at what I got and I'm like, I can't use any of this.
Yeah.
It's all useless, you know.
Wow.
And we've gotten better at it, and we've also got, you know, we were making everything in a 20-quart mixer, and
You got some fancy
What other-
machinery at the.
we've gotten better at that too.
Yeah.
We got a huge 60-quart Hobart double proofers
Nice.
and a big double wind oven, and we can kind of lock in on the process a little bit more. We can definitely increase our production, which is huge.
That's huge.
But yeah, I mean, that would probably be the thing that I'm most kind of identified with, just because it's such a unique thing up here. As far as the thing I don't know. That's probably it. We've also done some really fun stuff at like the pizza and beer pairings and things like that, and some, you know, beef Wellington pizza and curried goat pizza and you know, a ham roll up pizza and you know, some really
chef,
fun
let's get him
stuff.
over here. We
right?
need a couple of those.
Yeah, right? So, you know, we do a lot of that special stuff. And actually, I'm really excited about the new space, the Shinery space, because I'm hoping to bring some of
The
that,
Shinery.
bring some of that back. You know, some of those, like, you know, tasting events and things like
Like
that.
Chicken Ranch pizza.
Chicken Ranch
You're
pizza.
gonna have like a
Featuring Lord Gary's sauce.
I'm gonna
And
get
Gary
it going.
sauce and plump thigh. What is it?
plump thighs and meaty bountiful breasts.
Bountiful breasts.
Coming soon to a stage near you.
So, what role does Three Lakes play in your business success?
I mean, it's huge. It's
Huge.
it's
So,
it's. I
people-
mean, everything. We are 100% hospitality, and that has to do with people being here, right?
Exactly.
So that is the locals that are here 365 days a year. That is the second homers. That is the people that come up for their 1 week every single year, and that is the people that are just stumbling across us as they drive,
Wow.
you know, to Eagle River or Conover or Minocqua or whatever, right? I mean, we're just here to serve the people, right? And so that's what we're trying to do.
Just the servant of the people.
Serve the people. And then how would you describe the food scene in Three Lakes and how your business fits in?
So,
So
They're-
you wrote-
Tim writes all the
The
questions.
big food scene.
Well, you know,
It's crazy.
To be honest though, like
Crazy.
if you think
It's
about
pretty
it,
fucking good.
if you think
really
about
good.
it, for
Yeah,
what
yeah.
who lives here and how many people live here year round and what we have, I mean, it's pretty. There's some really talented people here. Like there are some
Absolutely.
wonderfully talented people
I
here.
agree.
And you know, you lose somebody like Marcel. I mean, that's a kick in the shins.
Yeah, it's
But then
bad.
you get somebody like a Chef Adam up at Sorella, who's really revolutionized that space. I think everyone's going to be super fired up when other Chef Adam gets going over at Artisan Oven. I don't know if you guys have had a chance to do any of his pop-up stuff.
No.
But
Where's that?
he is
Where's that
super
one gonna
duper
be?
talented. That's going to be right next to Clayton's there.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Tuesday.
Yeah, he's going to be breakfast and bakery, but in the same respect, he's got some really unbelievable stuff, and he's a super talented guy. You know, Clayton's has their niche that they're hitting. I think Black Forest is really starting to find their
Stride.
footing again
Yeah.
after it was closed and then reopened, and they were trying to do the strictly old menu, and now
Change
they're
up their menu.
they're changing up their menu. They're trying to be. Let Nick is a very talented cook, and,
Yeah.
and letting him do a little bit of his home thing.
Great meal out the other day.
Tavern on the Loop is they're bringing
One of our
they just
sponsors.
revamped their menu.
I love their BLTs.
A lot of it's bar food, yeah, but a lot of it's bar food with a perspective, which I find interesting.
Yeah.
Hell, the Hideaway. Go out and have some of Sherry's food.
I
You know what I
love
mean?
that
Like, go sit in the
place.
greenhouse and have some frog legs. Like, are you kidding me? Like, that's an experience.
It's not
you know?
Taco Tuesday, it's Mexican Mondays.
Yeah.
Probably
So-
needs
So-
some frog legs out there or something. I don't know.
You know, I mean,
champion.
Spirit View has their thing that they do. Like,
Yeah.
everybody has their thing, and I think everybody's kind of, doing it. Heck, even, I had a great sandwich at Deja Brew the other day. I had a lunch meeting there. And
The
I had a
paninis
great,
at
yeah, great.
Meg's
Yeah.
Company,
I
Megan,
Yeah.
their paninis are great.
Cuban sandwich.
Oh, the
Love
Cubans
the
are really good.
Love the Cuban.
That's so
We
good.
just our June pizza of the month was a Cuban pizza.
Yeah,
It was
Cubano.
delicious. Yeah, Cubano.
Great.
pizza.
Hey, that's a great answer. Let's drink for that. Work your abs.
Yeah.
Good job.
I'm gonna
Cheers,
pass it
cheers,
off.
cheers, cheers, cheers.
Work your abs.
Mary, I love
Work
you.
it, work it, work it.
Work your abs.
God
There
damn.
we go.
I was in the garage this morning and I didn't have the one bit I needed to finish my project. Where would I go, Tim, if I had to get something like that?
Hey, listeners, if you ever find yourself needing some nuts and bolts and plumbing fitting, some bird seed, a rental kayak, or a new chainsaw, Three Lakes Hardware and Rental Center, located at 1812 Superior Street in beautiful downtown Three Lakes, is your go-to place for everything. Come in and see their friendly and welcoming staff who will help you with any project or needs. Three Lakes Hardware and Rental Center, step one for all your project needs.
Now back to the show. I think we're going to head into our rapid round, but I would like to talk about your old-fashioned mix.
Sure.
And I'd like to mix
We got some old fashions here, too.
And then I'll mix some, and we'll do the rapid round with the old-fashioned.
That sounds excellent.
So what's the deal with the old? You guys are well-known and award-winning old-fashioned.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
no
we
doubt.
actually won at Pine Isle. We actually won best old fashioned in the Northwoods 5 years in a row.
Is that the Golden Muddler?
It is the grandmother.
Okay.
The grandmother.
Ah,
the
grandmother.
Grandmother.
Stand down.
So if anybody's ever been up to the old fashioned competition up at Eagle Waters in the fall,
Mix them up
it's
for
it's
us.
great.
Can you all, the audience, can just come and
job on
watch?
No, it's actually a ticketed event.
Oh, ticket.
It's a ticketed event that put on by the Eagle River Chamber.
Oh,
And everybody who shows up votes, though. And normally there's anywhere between 10 and 12 bars and restaurants there, and they change every year except for the people who win. And we won quite a bit.
5 years in a row. That's awesome.
Well,
Good job.
we won 5 competitions in a row. There was a little thing called COVID in there that broke up the streak, technically, I guess. But I say actually we won 6 years in a row because,
say that.
you know, whatever. And then actually I've been doing a little bit of consulting on the side, and I happened to consult on the recipe for the winner of the best twisted old fashioned at last year's competition.
Really?
So I helped them kind of figure out their whole.
And that's a ticketed event.
That is a ticketed event.
Listeners, drink responsibly, or the ride home will be
A ticketed event as well, yeah.
Oh, Tim, well said.
Yeah.
One question I had
Yeah.
before we go on with the rapid fire is the intersection by the hardware store.
Yes.
Why don't they just have a three-way or a stop sign so everyone stops? You always forget that person doesn't have a stop sign.
Person coming from town.
I think you have
They
to
don't
talk to
want it backed
the
up.
Wisconsin Department of Transportation about that particular issue.
I don't want a light or anything. I just
But
want
they don't want a big backup
You know,
into
maybe
downtown.
like just a blinking red light or something,
Exactly.
just so we can say that there's a stoplight and 3 ways.
Correct,
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't know if we want that.
Call on me.
Gary always
Oh,
works the
Tim.
term three-way in every
So that
podcast.
is all pre-mixed.
And if you're in-
Yeah, just
oh,
literally
shit.
just give it a swirl and pour it out. So
Don't use
They
your
don't want
fingers, though.
they don't want the the traffic backed up into downtown, Gary.
Yeah.
They want to alleviate that as quickly as possible.
You know, if you really want to get
Everybody
people
else
fired
can-
up, you're out at the Legion, you're having a couple, you want to get people fired up, just tell them you heard they're putting a roundabout in by the grocery store. You can just hear them get all fired.
Those are tricky. The
They
one in
are.
Rhinelander, it's like I picked the right lane.
Yeah,
and
well,
it's okay, but-
you go out by Green Bay and they're everywhere, but you go
Uh-huh.
up here and there's one and nobody knows how to make it work.
Everyone stand. They always stop as they go in. Look both ways. I mean, if no one's coming,
yield
just,
sign.
Just keep it going. That's the whole point of the roundabout.
Yeah,
So
hard-
you just got to keep it going.
hardest
Is there a
roundabout.
name for your old fashioned?
So this is the Supper Club Classic Old Fashioned.
Supper
mix.
Club Classic.
Yeah.
Supper Club
So
Classic.
when you get off the highway to get gas, somewhere on 51 or
There you go,
something.
buddy.
Thank you. That's the worst when you go a roundabout there because you don't really know where you're going.
Yeah. Yeah.
El Supero
Yeah.
Club Classico.
You guys try?
So
No,
this
I
was
gotta wait for you.
we needed to make up a
Ooh, shit, that smells good.
cheers, 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 cheers. So
Gary, work
we
that.
needed to solve a problem at Pine Isle, and that problem was on Fish Fry Friday. We served generally between 300 and 400 fish fries,
Get 'em
and we
out
served
there.
probably about 1,000 old fashions.
300 to 400 fish fries?
Yeah, and our busiest night we ever did at Pine Isle was 460 fish fries.
460?
400 between the outside, the bluegills outside, and the inside. We did 460 fish fries. Busiest night ever.
God, it must be nice to be rich.
You realize it. You realize that the fish don't jump in off the lake.
they
You got to
don't?
buy them before you cook them and sell them.
Oh, I thought you
But anyways, so we needed to solve a problem, and that problem was we needed to make 1,000 old fashions on a night like that, and not have everyone sitting there muddling and going crazy, right?
Right.
So
It is impossible.
yeah, right. It just wouldn't happen. So what we did was we created essentially a mix, and anybody who's been to Pine Isle had seen us with the magical mason jar there, and you put your booze in, you put your mix in, and then you top it however you want it, and that was. So, you know, a lot of people tweak their recipe when they go to the contest. We just brought what we served behind the bar, and we just were lucky enough to win. You know,
Awesome.
5 competitions in a row, and we are hoping to sell some at our brand new building, the
That's damn
Shinery.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, we're working on bringing
Need a
it to
fish
market
fry.
as a retail thing, so you can make our
The
fine old
Shinery.
fashions at home.
That would be
You
great.
get all shined up at the Shinery.
Absolutely.
I could have like a Jack Nicholson coming through your door, like The Shining.
The Shining, the Shiningery.
It looks like a freezer door that's on,
So,
on the north side.
It is a
The
freezer
south
door,
side.
actually. Yeah. So
You go right into the
there's a
Shinery.
massive freezer, walk-in cooler freezer combo there,
Right there.
and once we have beer in there, it'll be locked. So you'll have to you'll have to at least call me to get the key. I guess.
Lori's got a key. Lori's
Yeah.
got a key.
Yeah, Lori, call Lori.
Yeah. But our plan is to put in. I don't know if anybody's ever seen anything, but have you ever been any place where that have like the self-serve tap
Sure.
wall,
Yeah.
where you get the card and you get to do
yeah,
the thing,
yeah.
and you can pour it, and you get charged by the ounce.
Yeah.
and
Is it the
So-
one you set your
That's-
glass on?
that's-
or
So
you
no,
tap
you'll
it?
actually pour.
Tapping it.
But what we're gonna do is we're gonna have 16 taps. We're gonna 8 of them are gonna be beers, and then 8 of them are gonna be a mix of seltzers, ciders, and then some kegged cocktails. And we'll have
Like
our
this?
old fashions on draft at the Shinery there.
I might have to buy
And
a
so
house
you'll
in
come
town.
you'll come in
House
and
like
you'll
by his
get
place.
your card and you'll be able to try all the different beers and all the different cocktails. We'll have old fashions on draft for you there. And the reason we're calling it the Shinery is, if anybody remembers from Pine Isle, my father Jim, he was the brains behind our apple pie and our peach cobbler, moonshine, and our we did a blueberry pomegranate, we did a cherry, we have a few of them. He's working on a few more, but our goal is to come out and launch with basically 8.
That's cool.
And so you'll come in, you can try the moonshine, you can try all the beers, you can try the cocktails, and then we're gonna take the ice cream from inside, and we're gonna take the moonshine from outside, and we're gonna do adult ice cream. We're gonna specialize in adult ice cream
Floats.
drinks. So
You ever have a bushwhacker down at the Floribama bar?
I have never been to
I've
a
had-
Florida
I've had-
bar or
I've
had a
had a
bushwhacker, but
bushwhacker.
I'm intrigued.
I've
Are
had it
those
there.
excellent?
It's amazing.
That sounds like something that he's working towards.
Dude,
right
I would
here.
do. I would have a brandy old fashioned drink, like the ice cream and that together. That'd be
What's the
amazing.
drink? The grasshopper?
white-
Grasshopper.
Grasshopper,
Big
the
one.
golden Cadillac, the pink
Yeah.
squirrel.
Pink squirrel.
But-
The pink taco's fun too.
Yep. Yep.
Is that White House?
If that's served cold, though, you're doing it wrong.
Wow, it could be done for 24 hours.
Well.
Is that White House right there? Is that part of your property?
That is, yeah,
Is that
that's
for
part of our
sale? 'Cause
property.
Gary and I would like to
It-
live there.
No, but
Once you
actually,
open up
that
the
we're
food.
talking in phase 3, phase 4, phase
Gotcha.
5. But I would like to eventually convert that into like a
Chicken
bed,
ranch.
like a bed and breakfast kind of
Every-
vibe
yeah.
right there.
You know,
yeah.
everything you
Oh,
do.
you'd be busy.
You seem to be like 10 steps down the road, thought process wise.
I try to.
That's
I put it this
impressive.
way. It's a mix between, thinking ahead
Insanity,
well,
yeah.
it's definitely that, but it's a
Oh,
mix
that's
between
awesome.
trying to think ahead and also trying to be in the moment. Figure out what is working, what isn't working, pivot, try to pivot quick, but
You have
also
to.
have a guiding light. If you're pivoting too quick without any sort of guiding light, you can get distracted, lose yourself, lose your
Yeah.
focus, lose your idea. So I like to kind of eyes on the horizon, but also be in it too,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
you
yeah.
understand kind of what you're doing.
That's just smart business. Yeah,
Try hard.
You're a sharp guy. That's awesome.
All right, this is the most popular
Here it
part
is.
of our
Oh,
show.
boy.
Right?
Do you have music for that?
Yeah,
Or
you do, we do.
Do we?
Yeah, anything.
Which
Not
one?
the depressing music.
Not the piano one?
No.
Not sadness? What?
Dun,
Do you have a new
dun,
one?
That one.
Do you have a new custom one?
Bullshit.
Oh,
Yeah, that makes sense. Here we go.
yeah. That's
Rapid
most
fire.
of this actually.
Here it goes. This is my favorite part.
Oh, this is it.
Don't cry, Tim. You cry every time you play the song.
All right, Gary, you're the
All right, here
firing
we go.
first.
What comes to your mind first?
This is rapid
One
fire.
thing. Favorite food to cook?
Wow, favorite food to cook. Probably just a nice big hunk of meat, whether that's like a pork chop or a full tenderloin or a nice steak or something like that. Pull it out and just throw it on over an open fire and just it's technique, but it's also just it makes people happy if you do it right. You can do it mostly wrong and people are still generally happy.
Right,
So
right.
I don't know. There's a lot of stuff that's fun and a lot of fun techniques and stuff I like to use. But give me like a tenderloin au poivre or a nice big pork chop or something like that. And
We're
that's
going to dinner after this. I'm starving.
I'm starving right now.
I'm really hungry.
So we already did favorite bourbon, so I'm gonna scratch that.
Okay.
Top of the
Favorite
fire.
favorite other than bourbon? What is it?
Let's say bourbon went out of business.
bourbon is going out of business. I don't know if you've
He
seen.
can
There's a lot of
pivot
bourbon
like
going
that.
out of business
So
right now.
who would be your second go-to?
I used to Taco Tuesday was my favorite day at Pine Isle, and it was my favorite day at Pine Isle because we took our day that was literally nothing. It was the least busy day. It was nothing,
100%.
and we turned it into an absolute shit show. Honestly, we had unbelievable music. We had people that everywhere. Everyone was having a great time.
It
And my
was so
favorite
fun.
thing to do at the end of those days, as the party was winding down, a lot of times I was in the kitchen and I was coming out and I'm sweaty and gross, and a nice, really nice reposado or añejo tequila with a couple of lime wedges, and just sip that on the rocks and just watch the people have a great time. I loved it.
And guess who the genius is? Dan at the
Yeah,
news
right?
station.
Bourbon and tequila.
Bourbon. Now he's got tequila.
Yeah.
Is he
Unbelievable.
getting advice from you?
We chat, but I think
I
I don't
can
think he
smell
needs
it.
any advice from me.
I
I think he's
smell it.
doing
I
it.
can
I think
smell
he's
it
doing
right
it
now.
all himself.
How about a pizza topping you'd never put on a pizza?
Never put on a pizza. I can't do olives. I never have liked olives in
Really?
any way, shape, or form. I was in Morocco, and I went to an olive stand that had 75 different kinds of olives, and they were coated in stuff and marinated in stuff and things like that.
The
And the
best in the
very
world.
best one I had, I was like, that's an olive. I'm just not an olives guy, and,
Yeah.
and olives on a pizza, I just can kick them
All
off whenever
I'm
possible.
with you.
It might be an age thing. About 6 years ago, I had an olive, and I didn't like them before that.
Sure.
I can't. I just love them.
I
You like
love
sardines
olives.
now?
Do not.
No.
I just I
I
can't.
love those too.
I'm saying maybe if you get 10 more years, you might go back.
Maybe
to
may
olives.
go back.
I'm not sure.
I always
Olives in Spain.
keep trying stuff because you
Yeah.
never know when your palate changes or if you have
Right.
something.
I
you
try
love.
everything.
I try it and then I
Olive
try it
oil,
again and I try it
mushrooms,
again. But yeah, olives are something I've
Okay,
never
let's-
quite
let's-
found.
Let's
Crazy,
crazy,
right?
right? One. What's one word that you think would describe you?
I don't know,
These are tough
insane,
questions.
I guess. I don't know.
Say in the membrane.
Yeah, no, people used to ask how I got into Pine Isle, and I would say momentary lack of sanity, I guess. But I don't know. I don't sit still well. I guess I don't know what a good word is for that. But I don't sit
Mover.
still.
Active.
Yeah.
Energetic.
And,
energetic.
as even on
ADD.
vacation, like people want to go sit on a beach. I want to go hike a mountain. You know what I mean? I just want to be
You're a
doing
doer,
something
doer.
or chasing the next thing. All the
Exactly.
time.
That's awesome.
What's your favorite local watering hole?
You know.
I know you gotta be political.
Well, I honestly I like at least something about all of them. I do. When I have people up, I try to take them everywhere because I think that there is something awesome about every
Yeah.
place we have to go up here.
Yep.
But man, something hits different about after like a long night. We just had an event. We're all sweaty and gross and and you walk into the Legion and you have a 4-finger
Goddamn
Manhattan,
Legion.
4-finger
Yeah,
bullet
yeah.
Manhattan at the
Shake of the
Legion.
day.
Do shake of the day, and listen to
down.
some of the Three Lakes lifers
There's
tell you
something
what's wrong
magical
with the world, and
about that
I
place.
do love. to
It's a
sit
time
there.
warp on
Pickled
Yeah.
mushroom in that Manhattan.
Well, like either a mushroom or a cherry, but definitely not an olive.
I like a mushroom in there. Used to.
How do you react
Hard
if you
fish.
run out of supplies at an event? How do you-
I mean, honestly, the restaurant community in Three Lakes is awesome. We did a fundraiser fish fry for Faith Lutheran Church last fall,
Wow.
and they pre-sold like 70 tickets, and we're like, we're gonna do more than that, but we had no idea. They hadn't done one of these fish fries for a while, and so we didn't really know what to expect for numbers wise. And all of a sudden, people showed up, and people showed up, and people showed up, and we had planned for about 175.
Really?
And we were maybe an hour and a half into the evening, and we were at 175.
Oh, no.
And I called Nick and Sheena over at Black Forest, and I was like, I need fish. And they said, come on over. And I
Awesome.
went over there, and I
Pretty
grabbed a
cool.
case of fish. And then I called them a half an hour later, and I said, I need fish. And they're like, we got one more case we can give you. And I came back over, and I bought another fish. And I can't tell you how many
That is
times
fantastic.
that I
That's-
borrowed a
that's
case
awesome.
of pizza
What a
cheese
great-
from
what a
Jeremy
great-
over at 32, or a jug of fryer oil because we forgot to order one from Laura down at Spirit View, or everyone's obviously competing, and we all want to do the best for our business. But I think the general vibe in the hospitality business in Three Lakes is we could all fight over a bigger slice of this pie, or we could make the pie bigger.
Yeah.
And I think almost everybody is on the same page that we just want to make the pie bigger.
100%.
And
We love
everybody
big
has
pie.
been so great.
That's
So
good,
honestly,
yeah.
when I run out of something, the first thing I do is I start calling around because
Yeah.
almost everybody has it. Somebody has it, and they're almost always willing to help you.
That's
That's
fantastic.
a really cool story.
Awesome. I didn't know that.
And what was your favorite Three Lakes event to cater?
Three Lakes event, so not like a private event, but like a public event.
Anything,
Yeah.
Well, the wedding we did was super cool, and that
That
was
sounds
Three
great.
Lakes, and I liked that one because the Northern Air wedding I referred to earlier, because it was a couple that loves Three Lakes, and their immediate family loves Three Lakes, and then 95% of their 250-person guest list
Unbelievable.
had never been here,
Oh,
and
Where'd they all stay?
a lot at the Northern Air. They rented Airbnb. It was in October. It was in early October, so they rented a lot of Airbnbs. A lot stayed at the Northern Air. They rented some rooms up in Eagle River.
wow.
a lot
But
of
it
people.
was super cool to just see Three Lakes through the eyes of a bunch of people who had never been here before, and it helped that the weather was amazing that weekend, and the whole weekend went off without a hitch. But that was a really cool event. As far as public events, we did an event at the beginning of last summer that the Community Foundation put on, and it was kind of like all the volunteers from all the service organizations were invited, and we catered it, and they had a band, but it was really more of a let's get everybody together. Everybody who wants to do good things for this community, let's
So
get
the
everybody
writers'
together.
center,
It was actually on the grounds at the Historical Society.
Oh, wow.
And it was great, and it was
Neat.
super fun, and I think we don't do enough of that. I think there's a lot of people in this community that want to do good for this community
Yeah.
that don't talk to the other people that are also trying to do good for this community,
Yeah, yeah.
and we don't tie in well, and we don't help each other well, and we don't collaborate. And what we end up with is either competing projects or projects that could be so much better if we got a few groups together,
Yeah.
and instead we stay separate. And I think we need to do
That
more
makes
of that
no sense.
collaboration.
That makes no sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the best business advice you ever received?
Work harder.
Work harder.
I mean,
Yeah.
it just at the end of the day, you gotta take care of yourself. You gotta take care of your family. You gotta take care of your employees. But in the same respect, there's very few problems that can't be solved with just get after it. Get after it. I mean,
Nobody
there were
cares.
times
Work
where
harder.
we were absolutely buried, and with those early years at Pine Isle, and the people would see me either in the back or running food or doing whatever, right? And it's like there's a respect there. It's like
Yeah.
I didn't have the greatest experience. It was crazy busy, whatever. We waited, whatever. But you're seeing my mom running her butt off. My
Just
dad,
working like crazy.
working hard. All my staff running. You're seeing me running. You work harder. It's
Wasn't lack of effort.
It's exactly, and people respect that.
And your parents always have time, run, stop and
Say hi.
A hug.
And
Say
he'll
hi.
be
I hugged your
Giving
mom
me a hug.
1,000 times.
Yeah.
Giving me a hug.
great. I mean, they're wonderful.
Didn't she file a restraining order against you? No, this is a different lady.
I don't think it actually went through.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
it was
yeah. It's different, too.
I told her get in line.
Yeah.
But along those catering lines, where's the favorite place you've ever traveled?
Just as I did
great
a
segue.
I did a 9-day adventure trip in Costa Rica.
Oh, that sounds nice.
Where we did river rafting, we did hiking, we did went to some mud baths. We stayed on the coast. We did it. That was probably the best trip I was ever on. Morocco was super fascinating too.
Great olives. Great
I
olives.
did ride a camel in
There you
Morocco.
go. Everybody
yeah.
rides camels. My daughter was there.
But I would say that adventure trip to Costa Rica checked a lot of boxes.
Nice.
Biggest catering disaster. Jesus, who wrote these guys?
Lutheran and fish.
I don't like to say that out loud. I say catering is a lot. Well, restaurant business in general is a lot like watching a duck swim. As long as it looks smooth on top, and nobody cares how hard it's paddling underneath, right?
There's probably shitting
We've had plenty. I mean, we've lost fryers. Like we're doing a fish fry,
Oh,
and like
Jesus.
literally we're outside, we're on the dirt, and like some sand gets kicked, and all of a sudden a fryer like it goes down. And it's hot oil, and it's just like
Lori needs answers.
Yeah, yeah, she does. But we've had that happen. I don't know. We've lost. Something's hot. Somebody's not paying attention. They go to grab it. Oh shit! Drop it. Oh, we just lost a third or a half of what we were supposed to serve. Oh, figure it out. Come
Jesus.
try something next. Right? What's next? At the end of the day, if everybody's fed and everybody's happy, it doesn't really matter.
Awesome.
And so I guess I would say. We've had plenty of times where the duck's been working really hard under the water, but I'd like to think that we keep it looking pretty calm on top.
Excellent. Outside of cooking, catering, bringing everybody together, what's your hidden talent? Nobody knows about it. Well,
Nobody
few
knows.
people. Few people.
I am
couple people.
better than most people at foosball.
Foosball.
Yeah,
Wait,
I'm,
you do the.
Yeah.
That means he has very strong wrists.
Yeah. Very quick too.
I wonder where that came from. There's going to be a movie about your life. Who's playing you?
Oh, I love this question.
I don't know. Right at this moment, who's real short in Hollywood these days? Most of them,
Tom
right?
Cruise.
Yeah, most of them. Tom Cruise. Yeah, he doesn't age though, so I think I'm showing it a little bit at this
What
point.
about,
So he's,
what about, I can't think of his name.
Oh, that one guy with two eyes.
Seth Rogen?
Seth Rogen.
No, who's
Seth
Seth
Rogen's
Rogen?
about 3 times my size, and but I think maybe
Funny guy.
he could do it.
And there's another guy that looks like him kind of too.
Kevin Hart.
How about Kevin Hart?
Kevin Hart, yeah. Just flip it around. We'll flip it around. Let's. We're gonna set it out in like suburban
like it.
Atlanta. We're gonna just do the black version of this.
That would be
story, right?
fantastic.
Wouldn't it
I
be
love
great?
it.
Oh my God.
Wouldn't it be great?
I don't
We'll just
see
gonna
colors.
we'll put it in a resort town in the south, and we'll just flip it around.
I like it.
There we go.
Biggest
Let's do
pet peeve in the kitchen.
I hate when people don't like pick up after themselves. You know what I mean? You gotta keep it clean as you're going. Like I don't care if you need all the pots and pans and all the utensils and things like that. But if it just keeps piling up, then you have no place to set anything. You have no place to do anything. You got to keep cleaning as you're moving, as you're doing it.
You have time to lean. You have time to clean.
Absolutely.
Ever served?
Ray
Oh,
Kroc.
famous.
Wow.
I mean, there's been a couple ex-Packers that have come into the
I mean,
restaurant.
outside of us three.
Yeah, I mean, you
Outside
guys
the playoffs,
obviously,
boys.
media personalities here.
Kind of a big deal.
The one that was honestly
Barons
probably
can
the
suck
biggest
it.
deal for me. Well, I mean, Dick Leininkugel's around all the time. He's a great
That's
guy.
pretty cool.
He used to come to Pine Isle all the time, especially on snowmobile season.
I did the pizza
right-
thing with him.
Oh yeah, yep,
It was
yeah,
really fun.
yep. And
He's
that
been
was
trying to
it.
get on our podcast. We don't.
Yeah.
We just don't have
Yeah,
room.
no, I get you.
Charlie Barons too.
yeah.
Maybe next season.
Yeah, the one who gets me, the one who was the most famous to me was Tony Granado.
Oh yeah.
Tony Granado,
he
his
a Blackhawk?
family, he was a Blackhawk.
Badger, though.
He was the coach of the Badger
Badgers,
college team.
yeah.
Yeah, he was a Badger, and then he was
Yeah.
the coach of the Badger college. Anyways, his family has a place up in Eagle River somewhere on the chain, I think, whatever.
Yeah,
But
Tony Granado,
his
tough guy.
he I saw him, and I kind of he had just gotten the Wisconsin Badger coaching job, and I went up to introduce myself, and he's like, "Oh yeah, my mom loves your pizza." And I was like, "That was great." And he had just gotten the Badger job, and I was a big hockey guy growing up, and so I would say the one that got me the most was probably.
Well, you're gonna probably I'm sure you'll know this. I was at the Waste Management 2 years ago, sitting by this guy, talking to him. I don't nothing about hockey. I love
Sure.
to watch it. I don't know names. I don't know anything. Just talking to this guy for an hour, drinking beers. Cool guy, And my buddy comes up and goes, "Do you know who that is?" I'm like, "No." He goes, "Teemu Solani."
Oh yeah.
He loved talking to me because I didn't know who the fuck he was.
Hockey guys are generally real fun to hang out with.
He was super fun. to hang out
Crazy.
with.
So another
Crazy.
another one of my buddies from high school actually played for the Badgers, and then he played for the Kings, and he played pro hockey for a while.
Oh, shit.
He ended up playing for a while over in Finland and Sweden, and he just retired prior to last year.
How fast?
But I used to go. He played for the Preds, and then he played for the Admirals, which was the Nashville Predators minor league team, and we'd always go over and party. And I mean, I've partied with 35-year-old journeymen that were never ever going to see the NHL again, and I've partied with 19-year-olds that snuck into the bar, but they were hot prospects, up and coming.
Yeah.
And
Nice
you know what?
girls. Nice girls.
Yeah, they're all fun though.
said
They are all fun though.
I got in an elevator in Vegas, and with Amy and I got in it, and I looked, there's a guy in there, and I looked at him, double took it. He double took at me. I said, "You look familiar." He goes, "No, you look familiar." I'm like, whatever. And so we're riding up. He goes, "No, who are you?" I'm like, "Come on, who are you?" Brett Hall.
Is Brett Hall?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
The Golden Jet.
Oh yeah.
Well, you're a big hockey guy. Who's your favorite hockey player? Who's your favorite?
That has changed a lot over the years. I would say, and he's getting he's pretty old now. But Jonathan Taves was
He was awesome.
he was unbelievable for those Blackhawks teams. So I
Oh, did you
so
say someone?
I was a Hawks fan when I was a
Your
kid,
favorite
and then
team?
and then well, I started as a North
Admirals.
Stars fan. They moved to Dallas, became a Hawks fan. They went through a pretty
You have one.
significant rebuild. For some reason, I settled on the Devils. Loved the Devils for a very long time. And then when I moved back to Chicago, they were just getting really good again with Kane and Taves
Yeah,
and those
yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
And I just love the way Taves played the game. And it just so happened that a lot of those Hawks guys and a lot of the Cubs guys, when I was doing that, a lot of those guys hung out together. So I got to meet and hang out with a lot of those guys.
Do you have a favorite style of music?
I like most things. I don't particularly care for a lot of the newer country.
Sure.
I don't know. It just
Tim
seems
loves techno. He's a big techno.
yeah,
guy.
big dubstep EDM guy.
No, I don't listen to country
Boots and
music.
pants
but
and
I
boots and
know
pants
people
and
who
boots
do.
and pants
Yeah.
and boots
For
and
the
pants.
people who do like country music, begrudge me to put down.
Fair enough.
Boots and pants and boots and pants and boots and
I would
pants.
like you would never
Pretty
catch
well.
you would never catch me at Hodag. I'm sure
you
it's a
go.
great time. It's
you.
not my
The
vibe.
hose at Hodag. Biggest business regret.
There's a few. Most of them, honestly, around not taking a bigger swing. Pieces of property that I didn't want to leverage myself too much and didn't want to pick up. Things I thought we could do make work, and then kind of got back to it eventually, and maybe the opportunity was a little bit missed.
Right.
I'm honestly kicking myself a little bit that I did put more energy into like the old fashioned mix. Right now, I feel like we're falling off the radar a little bit just because we had it. We started this process when we still had Pine Isle, and we could have used it as a marketing opportunity to build that brand and everything like that. And now we're almost 2 years out, and we're still have not been able to figure out a way to get it all the way to market yet. And
Sure.
so
You're trying to
that's
get to
kind
sell it at retail.
Yep, exactly.
Oh,
Yeah,
that'd be
yeah.
cool.
Get it to retail stores.
Said
and
Skip
stuff.
Wagner couldn't have performed at one of your venues.
That is too bad.
That's my
That
biggest
is too
regret
bad.
for you.
Yeah. But
What's a perfect day look like for you in Three Lakes? What's a perfect day?
I work at least a little bit most days in Three Lakes, so I guess that would be a day I get up and I don't have 16 or 20 emails that marked urgent that I gotta like deal with or whatever. Not that but if I can work but more on the strategic planning instead of fixing something that went wrong, that's pretty good. But then, I just love cruising the chain. I rebuilt a pontoon boat with my dad last year, and ripped it down to basically the pontoons essentially, and then rebuilt it up and
Oh, fun.
just got it.
Nice.
Tim saw me yesterday out at the
Saw ya.
sandbar, yeah, and
Saw
we
ya.
just love cruising around. And,
So beautiful.
Yeah, it's great. I love fishing. I do more ice fishing than I do open
Me
water,
too.
but
Me too.
I love getting out to fish. I used to be an adequate wakeboarder and skier, but I'm a little fatter and weaker than I used to be, so I don't know if that.
Where's your honey hole for the ice fishing?
You have coordinates?
Not right. I don't fish the chain that often. I've
Probably
not had a lot of luck
probably
on the
planning
chain. I
ground.
generally fish around,
Right out in front of
Boo.
around the
Jet-
smaller
jet
standalone
code.
lakes.
Small lakes, small lakes.
Smaller standalone lakes
that
I've had
yours?
better luck with.
I don't know what that says.
Is there anything that you would like people to know that we haven't talked about your ventures with Holly Tree and catering business on
Honey
the
pizza.
Endless Summer Frozen? Anything that we've been talked about you want to talk about?
Yeah, no, I mean, we're just trying, we're trying to evolve everything we're doing. I mean, we're We're adding in some infused olive oils and balsamic vinegars, some spice seasoning mixes. We're going to try to kind of bring back some of the merch stuff that people used to love about Pine Isle. We're going to try to do some of that kind of funny and topical merchandise. We're trying to integrate a few different things together. Like I said, we're rolling out the Shinery, which I think got kind of talked about already, but I think that's going to be great. It's going to essentially function as our outdoor dining room for the pie pizza.
Yeah. Will that be running this year? Will that?
Yeah, it'll be open this year. I don't know how. It certainly won't be a completed project.
Do you get
It'll probably
cards
be-
every time you go there?
Maybe.
Do you get a card?
Yeah, yep, yeah.
You're gonna
So-
have like a membership card, like people that are really
That's
cool.
a good idea.
Could have one.
Yeah,
all
could
the
have a
time.
membership card. You just walk in.
You walk in like, oh,
Just get
excuse
like-
me.
just
And
get
if
like
there's
a monthly
and if there's
bill.
a line.
Yeah, just get like a monthly bill at
Yep.
the end. You don't have to worry
Yeah, you
about
get in
it.
front of the line.
Yeah.
My fish fries
Excuse me.
first.
Gold
Yeah,
card.
32
Yeah,
ounce cooler
yeah.
to fill up.
Right.
Full of ice cream.
Just trying to bring a little life to downtown. I think there's other people
I like
that
it.
are definitely doing it too. I mean, Artisan Oven is going to be really cool. I think when that's going on. Mugs and Deja, some really cool lunch options and things like that. I think there's some really interesting stuff happening around town, and I'm excited to kind of hopefully be a part of it and hopefully help drive it a little bit.
Yeah, you will definitely be a part of it.
This is my second favorite question of the night, Gary. I love this question.
What is it?
It's all you. It's your
What?
weekly question.
Oh yeah, sorry about that, guys. I was just enjoying my cocktail.
This
How
is
do you
goddamn
people-
good. What's it called again?
Supper Club Classic.
Supper Club Classic.
Whiskey
How,
Old
how would you like people to remember you, Josh Pike, and the contributions to Three Lakes? How do you want to be remembered? It's a morbid question. He wrote it over there.
I didn't write it. Claude did.
Claude.
Is Claude your AI assistant or
Claude.
what?
He knows
I
Claude.
fired Claude.
Right, Gronk.
He gone.
There you go.
I am a firm believer in the campground mentality. Leave it better than you found it. Whether that's a building,
That's
a
cool.
town, a
Great
property,
answer, yeah.
a people. I don't know. That's the way. I always. That's the way I try to approach life. Leave it better than you found
That's a good
it.
answer.
And so if that can be remembered that way,
Cheers.
That's very cool.
I would appreciate
Work
that.
the abs.
Cheers.
Go for it. Come on, Chad. Get it going. Pull the muscle.
We had, well, we want to thank you for bringing, obviously, just your time you spent here today. Plus, that beer was delicious.
That's
I'm not
okay.
a brown ale guy.
Yeah.
But that's a good brown
Yeah.
ale.
It's a nice one.
And that old fashioned
We're the
Supper
only
Club.
two that-
Supper Club Classic.
Supper Club Classics right here.
So
They're,
good.
if you guys could smell it, it smells like Christmas.
Christmas morning.
Christmas
You just
morning,
get out
Christmas
this
morning.
Soon
for
to be
your
available.
first
Supper
cocktail.
Club Classic candles. You can have that aroma in your house all the time.
Cinnamon,
Oh
little
my God.
apple.
That'd be
Taste a little
good.
apple or.
It's all sorts of stuff.
You can sell them at AA. People can
Exactly,
smell it.
yeah.
and not
Make
drink
you
it.
thirsty. Make you very thirsty.
For those of you that want it, just
Yeah.
smell it.
I also want to thank Brian and Heidi at Boneyard's Blends.
And our
Bone
sponsors,
Bone
Subway.
Responsibly. What else we have?
And our Subway
Yeah,
Sub
yeah,
Shop
Subway.
and Three Lakes Hardware and Rental Center, our sponsors.
If you're walking in Milwaukee and you have no idea how to get to Three Lakes, Tim, how do you get to Three Lakes?
Well, you go through Milwaukee, West Bend, Ozaki, Fond du Lac City, Mighty Pretty, Oshkosh, and New London, Clintonville and Tigerton, Anago and Elko. The gas tank is on low. Monaco, Three Lakes. Here we come. Come alive on Highway
45.
45.
Hey, everything's great north of 8.
Yeah, that's Skip Wagner.
Thank you, Skip.
To Skip.
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 Jesus. Speaking of AIDS, how's your drink?
Sorry, bro. Yeah, you gonna finish your beer, Gary? 'Cause I'm
Gary,
really
Gary,
thirsty.
Gary, what's you have a joke of the week?
I didn't have a good one. I was trying to think about that. I've got it on my phone over there, but it's
But,
being used.
You need one?
Yeah.
So this Irishman walks into a bar in Canada, and I thought of this when I thought of him. Walks in this bar in Canada, and he orders a drink, and the bartender says, "Hey, what? I noticed you're Irish. What brings you to Canada?" He says, "I was having a beer in Dublin, and I looked under my glass on the coaster, and it says drink Canada Dry. So I figured I'd come and give it a try."
Oh. It's very good.
It's clean.
It's clean and it's
Yeah.
good.
It's a
Thank you.
family program.
That's pretty good, huh?
That was not
That's
bad.
too
Yeah,
bad.
it was
We wanna
exactly
thank-
pretty good.
Thank
you.
Josh Pike for
Thank
being
you.
here today. Appreciate it very much. Next time on the Boathouse Boys, we have the week off next week. I am out of town, so
Oh,
we
come
will.
on. You do a
You're
remote?
gonna have to re-listen to some
remote?
good
You
ones.
do a remote?
In Utah, I'm going with the bloody folks,
We can
the Boneyard folks.
just put a hologram here.
It'd probably be better. It'd probably work out better.
No, you're the best. You're the glue.
I'm the glue. I'm the glue. Elmer's glue. Dead horse. All right. Well, thank you, Josh, very
Don't
much for
sell
being
yourself.
here.
Thanks for having me. It was a great time.
Tim, you gonna do your your little line, your leave-out line, or you do the thing
Oh,
first?
yeah. Until then, stay healthy, stay informed, stay focused, and more importantly, stay happy.
All right. Thank you, Josh.
Peace out.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Josh.
Josh. Thanks, Josh.
Good job.